Top the rest, ain't no sweat, no competition. Full circle and we winning. Had the test at my best and never finished. Full circle and we winning. Got my weight up, now they hate us, I just say they tripping. Full circle and we winning. Two different ways, but in right back in the beginning. Full circle and we winning.
The same nigga that you saw in the beginning. The same nigga put the squad on the mission. Back in 06 in the M inside a venue. Hey, full circle and we win.
Girl Tara here and your girl Jazzy Jazz. We in here tonight. We'll be discussing
what goes on in my house stays in my house.
So, along with that, we're going to talk about the incest in family members being okay with things and hiding things inside of their household. So, we're going to go ahead and start the show. Some things should be told. Some things should be talked about with the right people and who it needs to be talked about with. So, I don't really agree on that everything that happened in your household stays in your household. I think that we should be able to actually discuss things with other outside people, the right people, not people that's just going to talk about it and tell your business and be negative towards you, but we do need to talk to people that's actually going to help you and help uplift you and help fix the problem. So, Jazz, how do you feel about that?
I agree. It goes up there with the no snitching rule to me, because people misconstrue what no snitching means, and I feel like people misconstrue what goes on in my house stay in my house. Like, it depends on the situation.
Okay.
Like, your kid going to their dad's house telling your business. No, don't do that. Or go on over here, stay over here. Or if something happened and you witnessed it, you know, a kid is dead or something, you feel me? You gonna go say something. And there's no reason not to say something. So I feel like it gets misconstrued. I think that's what the problem is with that. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, I feel like it all depends on what you're discussing. Just like, okay, a key point that we wanted to touch on tonight was how family members cover up different sexual acts that's going on inside the household. Like, just say, I've been touched by my cousin, or I've been touched by my uncle, or I've been touched by my dad, or I've been touched by my mom or one of my sisters, and we cover that up. We don't want people to know about what happened because, again, there's the thing of what goes on in my household stays in my household. And I just don't agree with that, because I feel like if you've been molested, I don't care if it is a family member. I don't care if it is an uncle, cousin, brother, auntie, sister, anybody. I feel like you still should be able to discuss that matter with the right people, the right source. And I feel like us as parents and family members, we should be able to give out more information and be able to talk to our kids about those different things. So I just really deep down feel like I don't agree with that all the way with what goes on in my household stays in my household. So what do you have to say about that subject?
I feel the same way, honestly. My problem is that people hate to speak up because people misconstrue that. Mm-hmm. So if something happens to you by a family member, let's be very serious. Black people as a people, we protect predators that are in our families.
Indeed.
We do. We do. We cover it up. We don't make it an issue. We tell the person that it happened to they're a liar.
I just don't talk about it.
Yeah, or if it happens, we just don't speak on it.
No, don't talk about that. Don't tell nobody that.
Yeah.
We'll fix it and just call yourself taking a child from around it, but you're not really helping them.
Yes. No police action, no nothing. And that shows that child that lying is okay, and that hiding things is okay, and it ends up putting an emotional, unavailable person out into the world. It puts out a toxic person. And let's be very serious. There are a lot of people walking around here that's touched on, that's gotten beat on, and it's just not with touching, even with beating. You know it's one of your family members that go too far with whippings.
So what do you consider beatings?
Man, I'm the expert of those.
So what do you feel is something that should be addressed?
If you know that there's a sexual predator in your family, there's no reason that you have them at every event. There's no reason that you are allowing them to stay in your home. If you know that there is a parent in your family that is literally fist fighting their dang on kids or using all kind of weapons, like, you know this, but you don't say nothing because it's okay. It's okay. Oh, that's not my child. I can't tell you what to do with your child. Or no, we don't want everybody all our dirty laundry out there. No. What do you mean? Then when the kids grow up and don't come around, then it's, oh, you don't recognize us, or you so rude and disrespectful. Because you're rude and disrespectful. You watched me struggle. Yes, children struggle.
I agree with that to a certain extent. Like, when it comes to households and people being beat on, but it starts with their parents. It don't necessarily just start with that child or that mother. It's something that we were brought up on just to say, I was beat on. No, I wasn't beat on as a child, you guys. But in the situation of, if I was beat on my kids, because that's how my grandmother or my mother or my auntie raised me to beat on them. Mm-hmm. I agree with chastising your child. But I feel like to a certain extent, you shouldn't be able to put your hands on a child or just whoop a child. I don't agree with just whooping a child for every single thing that they do. I feel like you should be able to talk to that child. You should be able to talk to someone else. When you get to a certain point, I feel like you should talk to someone. When you feel like that you whooping your child every day, all day, that means that child needs some help. And who will be that person to help them? So I agree with that to a certain extent. Really deep down, like with the family members, a lot of times it's not that other family members still allow them to come around and still allow them to be at events. It goes to the fact of, I told my parent, and my parent made me hush about it. So the rest of the family member don't know that this happened to me. A lot of people don't know that this situation really happened because we don't talk to people about it. They make us be quiet and just move and stop coming around, or make us stop dealing with those family members. But let's have a family reunion. Yes, that person is going to be there because guess what? Nobody else in the family knows that this person did this to you. Yes, it's going to be someone that someone asked to babysit because nobody else actually sat down and discussed, hey, I was molested. So, such did it. I don't want them at the event. Nobody talks about that. Everybody just go along with not knowing.
Now, let's be very honest. There is not a black household does not tell somebody. People know. You just don't want to address the situation. You might assume they don't know. Okay. But in our day-to-day lives, when our children do something or something happens to our child,
everybody's different. Just use my incident for instance. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of my family members don't know this. I was molested as a child by my own father. It's a situation where I actually didn't tell anybody but one of my sisters. And she went and told my grandmother, and my grandmother, she told me to be quiet and she'll handle it. And what she did was, she ended up packing us up and moving. She never told her sisters. She never told her brothers. She never told anybody besides me and my sister that I already knew. My other sisters never found out until 2 years later. So when I say that it be covered up, because guess what? My other sisters, you think if they would have knew that, they still would have allowed my father to come to events? They would have still invited him to birthday parties and different things like that? No. But they never knew because we never talked about it. And my grandmother told me not to talk about it, so I didn't talk about it. I kept it held in for a very, very long time. A lot of people don't know when it comes to the household, depending on what the situation is, we don't discuss it with other family members. And then that's how the family members still be able to come around, still be able to talk to you, still allowed to be a part of that life. And here go the people that it really happened to, we are actually suffering because we're forcing ourselves to be around somebody that we know hurt us, that we know did some things that they wasn't supposed to do to us. Mm-hmm. So on that note, I just feel like what stays in our household, it shouldn't mean everything that go on in your household. Okay, yeah, if I'm low on food, shit, everybody don't need to know I'm low on food. That's something that can stay in my household. My water off, everybody don't need to know my water off. That's something that can need to stay in my household. But just say, I'm right here punching my child around, busting them upside the head all day. That's something that I feel like should stay in the household. I'm throwing big pots and pans at my kids. I feel like that shouldn't stay in my household. I feel like we should be able to discuss that with other people.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely correct. But I know you've seen the instances, just like I've seen the instances of children literally recording their parents while they're telling them, hey, your new boyfriend, or hey, your husband, or hey, your brother, and parents, mothers in particular. You stop lying. Stop lying. You ain't nothing but a liar. Or you initiated them short. This is my house. Why I can't wear what I want to wear in my house and be comfortable in my house? What do you mean?
This is supposed to be your safe place as a child. Your home is supposed to be your safe place.
Normalize not telling your kids to walk around their home when Uncle Johnny coming over or such and such finna come over, because a grown-ass man has no business looking at a child whether they have on t-shirts and a panty or t-shirts and shorts. Hey, y'all, I'm behind the scenes. But yes, I'm all for, yes, let's normalize talking to our kids. They are people too. They have feelings. They go through things just like we do. Don't think because they're kids that they don't get depressed or they don't have anxiety.
One of the things that we're going to touch on is
okay.
That was a subject that we were actually going to touch on another show. But since she brought that up, that is something that do need to be addressed. That's something that we do need to talk about. And before we continue on, guests on the show, those of you that are watching, if you have a comment, you can drop it below and we will read your comment and we'll talk about whatever subject that you have to say about this topic. Yes, if you will like, share, comment, tag groups, all of the above, because this is something that needs to be addressed worldwide, not just here. Everybody needs to know that it's not normal. It's not normal for me to be touched. It's not normal for other people to come in your household and your child had to be uncomfortable just because such came over. So, again, like, this is a very touchy topic. Just like, share, comment, give us your opinion on it, and we will address it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Like Auntie Jamie stated, children do go through things, and the problem is, and I suffer from it too. You know, I have so much stress in my day-to-day life that I don't take my son's stress as serious because you don't got bills and stuff, but no one's struggle is more or less than the next person's struggle. Yes. And children are learning at these ages now how to handle that in their adulthood. And what you don't want to send out is a toxic ass child, especially boys. You don't want to send out these toxic ass men, and then they get with us, and now all of a sudden we're trying to, why are you so unemotional? Or why don't you know how to love me? Because, and because they were never showed that. They were never showed how to truly love someone. And that goes with females too. As a woman at 27 years old, I still struggle with serious abandonment issues.
Girl, tell me that. Now that's the one for me right there.
I struggle with serious
separation, withdrawal, abandonment.
I've become so clingy that my own man of 3 years literally has to hint at me to bring my own self to my own home. To the point where I cannot sleep in my own room without
once
him
you
being
been with
here.
somebody so long, it get, and that's something that starts as a child.
Yes.
They start with us leaving our children all the time. Yes, we have to work. I'm one of those parents. I work a lot. I work 12-hour shifts. Plus, I have the show going on. Plus, I have other things and other stuff that I'm trying to do as well. And when I'm trying to do these things, it's hard for me to... I make time for them, but it's not the enough time that they want. Because my child came to me and said, "Hey, Mom, let's go do something fun.
Yes.
Like, are you out today? Dang, I want you to stay at home. Can you call out? Because I miss you. I want you to stay at home." And kids shouldn't have to do that. But that's how we're raised nowadays, to work. But again, we're setting our kids up for failure when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love. And then that's when they'll get our age and start jumping in and out of relationships, not having a stable relationship. Because every time you turn around is, oh my God, I gotta go. Them children starting to feel like, okay, I want to be around somebody. I want somebody to hold me. I want somebody to love me. And it's just like a very difficult thing for us to actually do and admit to. Because, like, again, like Jazz said, me as a woman, personally, I do have abandonment issues. A little bit about myself. At the age of 5, I got took from my mother. When I got took from my mom, I was in foster care. And I was going from house to house. And that made me have separation withdrawal because I wanted my mom. My mom, I wanted her to be there, but the system wouldn't allow her to be there. So that made me not want to be around. Then it made me to the point where now that I'm grown, I want to be around people, but when I start feeling just a little bit of that someone don't want me around, and they might don't even feel like that. It might just be something that I'm feeling personally, or I feel like I've been around somebody too long. I separate myself from them. I pull back. They won't hear from me for months, days at a time. So with that being said, it's something that we need to address and help and work on. We got a comment, and we're gonna read this comment. Give me. You said what's the first comment is, what's the question? The question,
what goes on in your house stays in your house. And how far does that saying really go?
Yes. The next one is, now this is a long one, ma'am. Your kids should not be comfortable in their own home, but a man is going to be a man regardless of if it's a child or adult. You have to teach your kids not to at any early age. What I have to say on that, and I think everybody has something to say on that. So, me personally, I feel like your child should be comfortable in their own home. Why shouldn't I be comfortable in my own home when this is where you brought me? I didn't ask to be here. I wasn't asked to be brought into this world. I tell my body to be made the way it was made. I want my face to look the way it looks. So I just feel like our kids should be able to be comfortable in their own home. And regardless if a man looks at a child, it's something wrong with the man. It's nothing to do with that child or how comfortable that child is. Because I see children on an everyday basis wearing shorts, the legging shorts. We grown people wear them legging shorts. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, the kids can't buy their clothes themselves. We buy their clothes. Mm-hmm. So if we buy their clothes, that means that they should be able to be comfortable in their own household, because they didn't choose to wear that. They didn't choose to be who they are. They didn't choose to have that body that they have. So at the end of the day, I feel like we should, as women, should allow our children to be comfortable. Because my two are going to be comfortable in their own household. If my baby want to walk out there, because I know how my baby likes to dress, and if she want to walk out there in her Speedo shorts from her doing gymnastics, she should be able to walk outside
comfortably
and walk through the house with her Speedo shorts on. So we have a guest on the show. We're gonna take her input on that, and then we're gonna get with Jazzy Jazz to see what's her input. Go ahead, guest.
She kind of struck a nerve just a little bit, because I got 3 girls, and I walk around my house in boy shorts and my panties and my t-shirt. Mm-hmm. True enough, if I have a friend true enough, if I got people over, they know better than to walk around the house like that.
In their underwear. So yeah, that's different.
But for me to have a boyfriend or their daddy, if I have to tell a grown man, don't look at my baby.
He don't need to be in your house.
He don't need to be in your house.
Exactly.
He don't need to be there. My children got a daddy and a stepdaddy. And they can walk around the house like they want to. He's a man. He's not going to look at them. He know that they're little girls. Not saying that I just let them willingly walk around the house in their underwear because they know better. I taught them better. But if they were to get up out their bed and go to the bathroom and they got on a t-shirt and panties, I ain't going to have to worry about him looking at them some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to have to worry about that. My children, if ain't nobody else comfortable in their house, I will say it. That's their house. Because like she said, I brought them there. They didn't ask to be there. They're going to be comfortable at home regardless. I don't care who's there and who's not there. But for you shouldn't have to tell a grown man not to look at a baby.
Yes,
like
no matter what they got on.
No matter what they got on. It's a child. If it can't click in your head that even go with a teenager. These teenagers ain't built. They come out with hips and ass and titties. But if you can't look at them and tell that that's a child, that's a baby, then something wrong with you.
Okay. So I'm going to let Jazzy Jazz go ahead and say her input on that, and then I'm going to read the next couple of comments. Go ahead, Jazzy Jazz.
I mean, anybody that come to I done got into arguments with people about that. Anybody that come to my house, number one, you in my house. You can get out. Mm-hmm. Period. You can get the fuck. Number one, I don't care what my son decide. Now, granted, yes, I believe in nudism. I believe in nakedness.
Now, I don't agree with that part, but go ahead.
Let's be very serious. You know I do.
I know you do.
You come to my house, especially if you come to my house unannounced, baby, I'd be butt-ass naked, and you shouldn't have came here. And my son gonna be in his little briefs. And it is what it is. Just like he gonna be running around here loud. If you don't want to hear no child, get out. Get out. And it shouldn't be nothing wrong with none of that. Because guess what? If don't nobody else have somewhere to be comfortable and be themselves, it's going to be my child. My child is going to be able to walk in here and be at peace. And if you come in here and look at him any kind of way, then you disturbing his peace. If you come in here and say, well, ooh, he's so fine. Look at him. And I'm going to hit you in your mouth and send you out my house. Because he not finna change nothing. He ain't finna put on nothing. When he become a teenager and them muscles start hitting, if you look at him wrong, we going to have a problem because at the end of the day, he's still a baby. And that's just it. You know the difference between a baby and a grown-ass woman. You know the difference. And let's be very serious. A grown-ass woman can get sexually harassed on the street in a non-outfit.
True.
The Amish women, get sexually harassed on the streets in their outfits, and they don't even believe in showing skin. So you can't tell me top advertising what? That's what leads to confidence issues. Because a lot of these women already walk around here with confidence issues because them same rules that you trying to put in place right now. Them same rules, because they ain't never been comfortable enough with themselves to feel like a man ain't gonna do nothing. But then when they go to school and the school sending them home, you mad. Why about this? Buy their clothes for them. Well, baby, you the one who teaching them that.
Okay. So, I mean, I agree with that. I will read the comments. Okay, so Mimi said, I get what Patricia Lewis is saying. If you are in your house, yes, you should be comfortable. But at the end of the day, my child is not about to walk through the house with their bra and panties on with company. So, my opinion on that comment, I agree with Mimi saying, because I'm not going to allow my 8-year-old to walk around the house with her bra and her panties on.
No, we talking about short shorts and tank tops and stuff like that. We not talking about no damn underclothes, no lingerie. I'm not even finna walk around like that with somebody around.
So it all depends on what you're talking about with them having on. A child can be comfortable without walking around their house with their bra and panties on. When I say your child should be able to be comfortable, I'm saying that my child should be able to come in the house if she want to wear her little shorts from gymnastics or her cheerleader skirt from her just coming from cheerleading practice. She should be able to do that in her household and not worry about if somebody's going to look at her or touch her the wrong way. But when I say that my child should be able to be comfortable, I mean that my child should be able to be comfortable and wear what they need to wear in their household. And of course, not going to allow my child to walk around in lingerie or my son to walk around with his drawers on and we got a house full of people. Right. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Right. Go back to what we were talking about. The main subject that we touched on tonight was the incest of family members touching kids or touching somebody in the family and nobody saying anything. And those things, it don't just come from what a child wear, because I know for sure that I ain't have on no underwears and no bra. I had on full clothes. I had on some damn blue jeans and a t-shirt. And he still did what he did to me. But, so I say comfortable, I mean, we should be able to make our children feel like they're safe in their own home. But they shouldn't be able to have to worry about if I got to wear a full like that just because I'm at home. Or only because my mom is there. My child, if you're in a relationship, your child, that person should love your child like they're their own child. And with that being said, they shouldn't look at your child sexually, because some of our children have shapes. I know in my family, my whole family got goddamn shapes. Big booties, flat stomachs, big breasts, like everybody in my family got some kind of shape. And you're telling me that just because my child got a butt, she shouldn't be able to wear shorts in her house? We buy our children sleeping shorts. Mm-hmm. You're telling me we having an event, and I tell my child to go in your room, and my child come out to get something to drink and she in her sleeping shorts, I should make her stay in her room? I just feel like, no. My child still should be able to go to the refrigerator, get her something to drink in her sleepers, and don't have nobody harassing her or saying something negative or being sexual towards her.
Or coming in her room in the middle of the night while they think everybody's asleep.
Exactly.
Like, no, that's
so
wild.
I get what y'all saying.
Yeah, I get it. To Miss Patricia, okay, she said we took it wrong. And I get it. Because no, I'm a grown woman. I'm not going to undress in front of my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Even as a little girl, I still went undressed in front of my daddy. But we're talking about the mom has a boyfriend and the daughter comes out of her room to go to the bathroom or to go to the refrigerator, like Shatera said, and she's got on shorts or something like that. Like, she shouldn't be looked at. And you're right. You can't tell how old these kids are nowadays. But if you are a parent and you have kids, I got a niece.
If you inside my house, you know how old my child is.
Exactly. But she was saying as far as outside, I got a niece right now she's stacked like a brick house. But I know she's a baby. You can look. I don't care what they look like. They can put makeup on them. Me personally, I can look at a child and tell it's a child.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Male or female.
Okay. So, next comment is, we're going to go and read over.
Okay. Right, they shouldn't when you have company. But of course, I would think people would teach their kids not to do that when company is around. She said they shouldn't be comfortable at home and not to teach them to advertise at an early age. At the end of the day, they are kids. With that right there, like I said, it depends on your definition of advertising. Because these men don't care. Let's be very serious. All of us, there is no, any woman that was a teenager dating an older man, you were sexually harassed. Like, that's a conversation. You were sexually harassed. When you walked into that gas station or wherever you was at, when you met that older man, and you told him how old you was you in your bra and panties or something? No. Because when I met my older man, because I used to always love older men. You remember, my auntie used to stay getting on to me. Because they don't want nothing but one thing, baby. They don't love you. And I used to always hear that, oh, because you so mature for your age. That's the line right there.
Oh, yes, that's the one.
You so mature for your age.
That's the one.
And my young ass eating that shit up not knowing.
Yeah.
So, I can go outside right now in my pajamas. Right now. That's not putting it out there. That's not what's like. Men don't give a damn. So, yes, it's not okay for them to walk around in their bra and panties and stuff. I'm not saying that. But let's be very serious. It don't matter what they got on. You should not look at them like that. So what you saying? When you got your baby and you changing your baby, you always take them out the room? Because I know quite a few people who will change their baby right where they at.
And I know I used to change my baby right where they was.
Exactly.
Like, me personally, I change a diaper and be like, yeah, excuse me, don't look.
Exactly. Do you expect a grown-ass man to look at your baby while you change them and say, hey, my dick hard? No, you don't. And it's the same aspect with your older children. At the end of the day, it don't matter what she got on. There's no reason for him to look at her like that. Your child is not the problem. He is.
Indeed. Okay, so read Patricia comment. And I agree with that. I just feel like it's not the child, it's the person. It's something wrong with them mentally.
Exactly.
Wait, y'all took what I was saying, and you right. But a lot of these kids, you can't tell if it's a child or not. True. Now some
you right,
because it's some gone teenage boys, and I be looking like, whoa, y'all went like that when I was a kid.
Okay, well let me say this on my end. I apologize if we took it the wrong way because
I apologize.
I get it was just how it was put up there.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying now, but I still feel like our kids should be comfortable.
Yeah.
I still feel like that they don't have to be uncomfortable in their household where they're scared to even come out their rooms when people are around because somebody's touched them. But we do apologize for taking it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Now that you explained it and other people has explained it as well, that's the point of the show, is to get everybody point of view, to get everybody knowledge and input on it. So again, go ahead with the
She said, I have 2 girls and a boy, and I teach my girls not to undress in front of their brother or father. I teach them when they are men in the house, put on clothes. Okay, yes, I do agree with that.
I agree with that too.
My son will tell you quick.
I'm
changing. I gotta go. Like if I'm in the bathroom and my eye something, he'll stand there and wait. I'm like, what is you doing? I gotta pee. Like he'll wait.
Get out.
I gotta pee. Like,
mine do that too, and then you like,
that's a whole nother convo. But yes, we have to give those kids
we have
privacy.
to give them
like
privacy.
they are humans.
So I get what you're saying right there, but when that still don't they don't make them be uncomfortable in their household. That make them be able to respect themselves enough to not allow any and everybody to see them.
Yeah.
So when I say comfortable in their household, I mean they come and be their self in their household and don't gotta hide who they is because they worried about if my mama looking at me, or my Uncle Tom, my Uncle Jerry, or Uncle whoever looking at me, thinking about touching them.
They get unnecessary
Your
stress.
child should be able to come to you what they happen in the household, what they happen outside. Your child should be able to come to you and say, Mom, this happened to me today.
Mimi said, now my baby can wear what she want. Exactly. Ashley Jackson said, woo, this subject, tune in every week. Wilma said, I'm one of the females who was child that had got raped and see my mom be beaten on, and yes, it was hard to keep stuff in my mom's own household. My father raped me since I was 2 years old and up to 5 years old, and I've been in and out of foster care at 6 years old and up to 11, and it's been hard. And I bet it has.
And that's something that we don't address on. And then people don't understand when we go through stuff like that, because Wilma, I understand, I can see where you're coming from, because it's time to put it out there, because we got to heal from what happened with us in our childhood. We got to discuss these things that we've been holding on to all our life because we were told to hush and be quiet because they don't want us to look bad at their child, or they don't want us to look bad at their nephew or their uncle or their cousin. So they're telling us like to be on hush mode. And with that being said, my dad actually did the same thing to me. And those kids that was foster care, and I had to go from house to house until my grandmother did decide to take on that role. And we never discussed it. It's something that we never dealt with. So that give you separation, abandonment. It make you depressed. And then here we go at our age, we get 29 and 30 and people still wondering like, why she act like that? Or why she, because literally our childhood has been taken away from us because we've been stuck in forced to believe that it was okay or not to say nothing because we don't want everybody else to be frowned upon on. So I get what you said, Wilma. Anybody else have anything to say about what Wilma said?
No.
Okay, so what's the next?
The next one, Patricia Lewis said, that's still clothes though. I mean, panties, booty shorts, things like that. My thing on that, what do you classify as booty shorts? Because if they got it in their closet, that means you bought it. And that's a contradiction. How you gonna buy for them to wear out in public, but not around these particular people? No. You bought it. So how you gonna tell them that's not okay to wear around company or around this man? Then if that's the case, that man should not be in your dwelling. Because you bought it. It's in their closet. You can look at a child and tell it's a child, but most of these men don't care. Exactly.
They don't, Patricia. They don't. Like, they really, really don't. Because
they do not care.
I was actually I'm going to give you an incident. I was at McDonald's with a niece. And matter of fact, it was 2 nieces. And both of my nieces have shape. And with both of them having shape, it's like, okay, the dudes was trying to talk, these grown men were trying to talk to my niece, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. They ain't number 15 and 14. No, you can't talk to them. You bag up. Oh, no, it wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't like that. I ain't know. How did you not know? Because you can still look at a child and see.
Their mannerism don't let you know.
Exactly. Soon as that child spoke, you knew that was a child.
Even if you didn't see it. When you started talking to them about certain subjects, you knew, hey, what's really your age? Because this don't seem right. What?
Yes.
Like, you knew.
And that get me where a lot of people like, well, I didn't know how old she was. She didn't tell me her age. You can get mixed up like that, but at the end of the day, eventually, if y'all talking, you had some kind of sign that this child was underage. But that go back to what I was saying, like, our kids should be able to be comfortable in their own household. They shouldn't, I don't care what they got on. I just feel like no matter what you wear, it shouldn't make somebody look at you. Because guess what? Again, man being man has nothing to do with them looking at a child and getting aroused. I don't care what a child got on. Because I've watched stories and looked into stories and followed stories where 1 or 2, and the baby had on a diaper. And apparently the man molested the child and messed the child up to where I had to go to the hospital. And that mean you telling me because my child walking around in a diaper, you got aroused. No. That mean that's just like, okay, y'all say booty shorts and all this. I know a 5-year-old who has bigger than mine. So it shouldn't matter if she got on the dress and her butt sticking out there and the man get aroused. You can read the next comment on yours, and then we'll have the next comments on mine read.
Okay, Misha said, I'm sorry, but any parent or family member who sweeps shit like that under the rug is just as sick as the person who did it.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree 100% because at the end of the day, that means you accept it. And most parents that would accept some shit like that,
I say fuck that shit.
if your son was gay and he came out, you'd be mad and told the whole family, tell the whole world. Why wouldn't you be mad at a situation like that? Because, baby, you have to let my son come to me with any kind of thing like that. Let my stepdaughter come to me with anything like that. I promise you might want to go and turn yourself in. Because I'm not. Don't even worry about it.
Agreed. Okay, so we gonna read. Okay, what's the next one? And you right, there are red flags, but some are sheep's in wolf clothing. I agree with that. Y'all know we don't live in a normal world no more.
Yeah,
you correct.
Let's be very serious. The world ain't changed. The people just changed, and now we're just got social media to speak up about it.
Yeah, and it's just certain things are just. It done went on so long. It been happening so much that it's just whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Stuff ain't new.
Police
killings ain't new.
Yeah.
Molestation ain't new. Rape ain't new. It's just we just speaking about it.
History gon' always repeat itself.
A homosexuality ain't new.
That ain't new.
Ain't nothing new.
But I can't teach my child what was not taught to me. And there's a lot of signs these niggas show as well as red flags. Some of these women just too dick blind to see what's in their face. I agree with that, Mimi. Well said, baby. Well said. Because a lot of women in this world
I done been there.
Literally will overlook all the red flags because they in love. Or they think they in love. So I agree with you 100% on that.
I'm thinking, well, they in the middle of the show.
Okay, so that's why we are saying normalize your kids telling you things and not telling them to keep quiet about it. Agreed? I feel like we should teach our kids that they can talk to us about anything without us getting upset or mad or belittling them or telling them they lying or don't say that, don't tell nobody else that I'm going to take care of the situation and the only thing you take care of is throwing it under the rug.
Yeah.
So, again, I agree. My kids know that anything is a subject with me. I hide nothing from them, and they treat me with the same. I have a 15-year-old, 12, 11, and 3-year-old. And it's nothing that we don't talk about, and there is nothing they can't tell me. That's great. Like,
exactly. Like, that's parenting right there.
That's some great parenting.
That is what we're talking about. Normalize that in your household. Talk to your kids. Listen to your kids.
That's why I started the mentorship, because a lot of parents don't know that. My mentorship is not just for kids, it's for parents as well, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know how to teach their kids because, like, it started with their parents and their parents and their parents, and it's a chain. And we're at the age now that we need to break that chain. We need to not allow them to think that it's okay to hide things from us or get mad every time they try to talk to us. Like, everybody might tell me my baby talk too much. My baby tell me everything and she tell everybody else everything. So, yes, I do be like, don't say this or don't say that. But then at the same time, I allow her to be herself and be able to talk and be able to tell how she feel, because she might don't be able to feel like she can tell me, but she can go tell her aunties or she can go tell one of her cousins, and she know that they're not going to talk about her or they're not going to make her feel uncomfortable and unloved just because she told them a situation that she's going through or how she really feels.
Yep, parents, please remember you were once a child. I know it's hard, but remember, you was once a child. You were once a child, and you know when your parent did that to you, how it made you feel and how it didn't work. Because let's be very serious. I know we love our parents, but they have flaws too.
Indeed.
And if you was a child like me, that every ass whipping you got was about everything, even about the same thing over and over again, at some point it's not the child, it's the parenting. Let's be very serious. If you know you done whooped me for this same thing 4, 5, 10, 15 fucking times, why are you still whooping me? Why are you still beating me? And why are they getting worse? Obviously, if it didn't work the other 20 times, why are you still doing it?
Indeed.
Now, come on now.
Okay, so Wilma said now, but listen, some parents let them wear. I understand what y'all saying that, but why let them wear that? If your child got on something that's provocative or you feel like they shouldn't wear, who bought it? And if you didn't buy it, who did you allow to buy it? Because my child not gonna wear something, I'm gonna turn around and tell my child, hey,
throw that away.
I'm gonna tell the person that buy it, like, hey, you gotta take that back, baby. Go find something else, because I ain't finna let her put that on. So you won't even waste your money, my time, or your time. Mm-hmm. Because then you'll be like, I ain't never seen her in that outfit I bought her. Yeah, because I threw it away because that was not child material. That's not something a child wear. So I agree with that, but you gotta look at the people who's buying it. And then on top of that, like, it's just us as parents. We blame it on the kids majority of the time, but half of the time it's us as parents. It's our parenting that it was messed up some kind of way.
Exactly.
And everybody want their child to be, if it worked for you, yeah, you don't do drugs, or you don't do this, or you don't do that. Whatever they did to you, you need to do to your child. No, I don't do all this, and it didn't come from me getting beatings every day. Because a lot of people don't know, like, my grandma, she whooped me, but she didn't whoop me that often. She did not. So, I got whooping, but it wasn't no every day. She would sit me down and be like, look, don't do this. I told you more than once, don't do this. Do it again, I'm beat. And that was just her.
Yeah,
so
I'm a cuss parent. I'm a cuss. When you finally see my son getting a whooping, don't say nothing to me because he deserved it. Because I promise you, I done cussed him out about 2 weeks strong.
I know that's real. Okay, so I think that's all the comments on my end. Y'all address these subjects. Y'all address these topics. Be able to actually agree to disagree, because a lot of people raise their kids different. Mm-hmm. No, we should not normalize our children being touched by family members and not saying nothing and telling them to hush and push it under the rug. No, we shouldn't say we're going to take care of the problem, and taking care of the problem is removing the child from the situation and then not telling nobody else about it, and this family member is still allowed to be around each and everybody that's around them. Mm-hmm. We're gonna take the input from the guests.
Normalize telling your kids to tell me if such and such put their hands on you or touched you somewhere. Mm-hmm. Normalize that.
Yes. And take a village. Like, a lot of people don't agree nowadays. A lot of people say, well, she can't say nothing to my child, or she can't do this, or it do take a village, because just so happen if this happened to this person over here, and my child feel like she can't come and talk to me, I want her to be able to go talk to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Or if it's something that I feel like I can't teach my child, I should be able to have someone else that knows what they're doing and know how to help, or been through it with their own child. I got a habit of calling my family. It's like, I was this age before and your child is older than this now. What should I do about this situation that my child is going through? So normalize being able to talk and communicate with each other.
Yes, and normalize the same for parents. When I was teaching my son how to properly bathe himself so I can stop when he was getting up in age, I used to start by stop wiping his private area.
Wipe it yourself.
Wipe it yourself.
I did mine like that too.
And I told him, like, if anybody ever touch you right there or right there and you feel uncomfortable any kind of way, even if it's me, speak up.
Exactly.
Say something. Even if it's me. And I drilled that into him. Because I need you to know, even though you trust me the most, if you ever feel that uncomfortable around me or your father or your uncles, anybody, say something.
Indeed.
Because it's usually the people you trust the most.
And it always be the people you trust the most.
It don't always, but you got more 8 times out of 10.
90%.
Yes. 8 times
95%.
out of 10. It's not that high now. 8 times out of 10, it's not a stranger. It's somebody you know.
I agree with the 95%. We're going to agree to disagree.
Like, because, come on now, I'm saying as in family members or something like that.
That's
but
what
if
I
you,
mean.
like, it can also happen if you a gymnastics class or
yes,
school or something like
yes,
that.
I agree
Or
with
it's less times out of 10, it's a stranger snatching up off the street.
But now, see, and that's where it goes back to what I was saying. I really agree, like, it's 95% of people that you trust and know. Because, guess what? If my child at gymnastics and I left my child with that person 9 times out of 10, we trust them and we know.
Right.
Secondly, the family members. A lot of family members are doing it. It's just they never been spoke about or they never been told about. So that's why the percentage rate is lower than what we really expect and what we really know. Mm-hmm. So I really feel like it's 95%. Now I feel like 5% of that is strangers that just be kidnapping people's children. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot in the household of let's not talk about this and let's not do this. Or it's a lot where my child play basketball or my child is in Boy Scout and Girl Scout, and these people are doing something to our kids, but we ain't made it to the point where our kids are scared to discuss these topics, are scared to come forward and talk about it because they're scared of what's going to be said. And we trust these people enough with our kids.
It's not even some kids be actually saying something like we need to normalize believing your children.
Yeah,
yes, children lie.
We teach them to lie though.
Exactly.
That's my thing. We teach them to lie. We tell our children to lie. We tell them, and a lot of people gonna say that I'm wrong about this. No, because when your child saying something, that's just say for instance, and I learned to stop telling my baby this. We go out to a fast food restaurant, and we don't want to pay more money.
Baby, you ain't never win your Abram because, baby, he gonna snitch on you.
Oh, my baby. And I had to say, go ahead. But then I thought about it.
That's the first time any child has ever learned. They're 3 years old and they a whole 5.
Exactly. So we teach them. That go back to what I was saying. We teach them to lie.
Okay. So what do you feel about Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny?
They all lies, and we teach our children to lie. So that's why I feel like we gotta stop teaching them to lie. We worked for that. We did it. We need to let them know that we did it.
Exactly.
If you gonna say anything, tell them that they were blessed with it, or your guardian angel sent it to them, because you do have guardian angels. I do believe in that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just don't say I believe in God too, so we can say that God gave it to us. Don't keep telling these children that Santa Claus did it, because a lot of
fat white man at that came to the hood,
and they have the wrong idea to where they think that okay, it was done. Santa Claus did it, but then they forget the real meaning of Christmas. Mm-hmm. They forget. They forget
kids walking around here unappreciative, or your kids going to school. Well, obviously you were a better kid than me because some parents can't afford this, and now I feel like I'm a badass child because my mama couldn't afford this, but y'all told me Santa Claus gave these kids this shit.
Exactly the reason why Jordans, my children didn't find out what them shoes was until we moved to the west side of Birmingham. And they still don't know what they are. They just know they some shoes. My children still okay with a JoJo Sway t-shirt. They don't have to have no designer. Mm-hmm. True enough, it's cool to have nice things, but stop making that you gotta have it. Okay. A goddamn newborn baby shouldn't be having no goddamn J's. They can't even walk.
What about these Easter Bunny pictures and Santa Claus pictures and stuff when y'all telling y'all kids to hop on these strangers' laps? What about that?
That's again where they feel like it's okay to be sexualized.
What about these?
Yes, because a lot of people don't know those Santa Claus. Some of those Santa Claus be mentally unstable, and then they be getting aroused.
They don't do background checks on them folks.
Do you know where they get them Santa Claus from? Off the street.
Yeah, they don't do background checks.
I ain't lying. They will go find
a homeless
man, clean his ass up. Boom, Santa Claus. Take pictures of picture and give him a job.
Okay, so we're gonna read another comment. Yes, normalize holding them bad family members accountable. I agree with that, Ashley. I really feel like we should hold anybody that did something. Anybody that did something out of way to a child, to a teenager, to an adult. I feel like anybody that did it should be held accountable. And I feel like we shouldn't sweep it under the rug, and we shouldn't say that it's okay. We got to call them out, and we got to stand together. Okay, yes, some people do lie on people. I'm not going to say that don't happen. Huh? But yes, some people do lie on people, but we got to hold them accountable. We got to stand 10 toes down and stick together and be like, look, if I was touched and you know you was touched, you got to be like, shit, I was touched and he touched me and he need to go to fucking jail or in a mental hospital because one of them, he either definitely crazy. So,
crazy enough to touch my car, you got to need some mental help.
Okay. So I just agree with that. Listen, gotta stick together. We can't tell these kids that don't tell me or just push it under the rug or anything like that. We gotta be straightforward to talking with them, and we gotta let them know that it's okay to talk to other people because it's not okay to be molested. It's not okay to be like what stays in my household happen in my household or anything else. Dealing with a household, got to stay in there. Because some things don't need to stay in there.
Especially if it's somebody that don't live in that household.
Man, what?
Exactly.
That's how they go with that no stitching.
But it is people.
Misconstrued.
It's people that actually live in the household. It's people that actually live in the household and be molesting these kids and touching these kids. And for years, children being and not knowing and doing these things all their life and accepting these things all their life and then get out and grow up and don't know how to be loved.
Yes.
Or don't know how to allow people to touch them. Or don't allow, and they just accept anything that's being given.
To draw lines with not just relationships, but with friendships or even work. Even your toxicness can even have you in fucked up situations at work just from boundary issues because what you was taught as a child, it's not even with relationships or friendships. You cannot know how to tell your boss, no, that's above my pay grade. I'm not finna do that. No, I'm not finna let go of my off day. No, I'm not finna put this job over my livelihood. No, I'm not finna do this.
And to be honest, Jazz, I am one of them people.
I am too.
I am one of them people. When it comes to my job, I know I'm in the nursing field. And when it comes to my job, they treat me like a manager. I do all the manager things. I work 12 hours. They want me to pick up off days. I do it sometimes. But then again, you go to things that we aren't supposed to do, and I still do it just because that's what I was told. I mean, that's how I was taught. If you told to do something, you got to follow directions and you got to do this. And sometimes those directions are not the right direction. All that, listen to a grown-up. Whatever a grown-up say, do it. That's where we mess up at too. Because we'll tell our child that, and the grown-up will be like, pull your pants down, and the child gonna pull their pants down. A grown-up will be like, let me kiss you there, and the child gonna do that just because we taught our children to listen to grown-ups. Whatever a grown-up say, do. No, you gotta explain to that child, okay, when they telling you something right.
Yes.
Or when they telling you this or that. You know what I'm saying?
You need to teach them to question authority. And I'm not mean to be disrespectful. Yes, teach your kid. That is part of parenting. Teaching your kids to question things, to question authority. And there is a good, positive way to do that. It is. And that even goes for parenting. I can tell my son something right now and he'll be like, why? And it's not out of disrespect, it's because he genuinely wants to understand why I'm telling him to do something that is going on.
And we don't let our kids question and that's another thing too, because of the jobs. A person can tell you to do something and we never ask them why, just because we were taught not to ask why. Or taught to not talk back. If you say what is it? Why mom? Why I gotta do that? You talking back. Just do what I say do. And I'm one of those parents because I do it sometimes as well.
I'm not gonna lie to you too.
I actually will go and say, hey, why you asking? Don't ask me damn why go in there and do. I'm like, do what I told you to do. But I'm learning. I'm growing. And as you grow and you learn and you open up that mindset, you got to stop having that closed-in mindset. You got to have an open mind to whatever situation that you're in. And you got to be able to see it from all points of view. And kids have a view as well. And we don't feel like our kids have a view.
They are people also.
Exactly. We don't feel like they got feelings or emotions. And my biggest thing, I hated for somebody to tell me when I be like, my nerves, like, y'all done work my nerves. You a child, you don't have, your nerves can't be worked. Yes, the hell they can.
Man, what? They got them.
Kids have nerves too.
And I know I get on my son's nerves.
Believe it or not, half of them children be happy to be gone for the weekend to get away
from
them.
Believe it or not, all my son will tell me quick. I will ask him, like, am I bothering you? Yes. Yes, you are. Yes. And I'll stop. Because at the end of the day, that's teaching him, number one is teaching him to be honest.
And express his feelings.
And yes, and be expressive. For him to be able to, when I ask him that, honestly say, yes, you are. That means somewhere I'm doing something right. That's how I take that. No, I don't take it as disrespect because I asked him. Number two, okay, Ma, I need a break now. Like, we good. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Even when he's with me, I ask him, like, do you want to be with me or do you want to be at your dad's house? He has that option because we don't want him to feel like he's never unwanted. We want him to feel like, okay, well, right now, I'm in a mommy moment. I need my mommy. So I'm going to go with my mom. And if we're here at home by ourselves and my man ain't here and my stepkids ain't here, he'll come climb in my bed. Yes, at 8 years old, I allow him to sleep in my bed.
Mine's 12 and he still come and get in the bed.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, what you doing? He like, I wanted to sleep with you. Can I sleep with you? I'm like, yeah, baby.
Exactly. Like, because he needs that time. He is still a child.
It's just teaching them how to be loved.
Exactly.
A lot of us, and a lot of kids do not understand how to be loved. Okay, so Veronica said, I believe children are mini adults. They are really smart and very knowledgeable. I agree with you 120%, girl.
They can teach you some things.
Exactly. You can really learn a lot from a child. Like, literally, like, a lot. And a lot of people look over that. A lot of people don't understand that. So, I agree with you. Girls teach me something every day, and I love it. Hell, the oldest teach me cooking recipes, LOL. I know that's real.
Because I'm learning how to make candied fruit. I just gotta go buy the stuff. They already got the recipe going, ready for me. Yes.
Like, and I agree with that too, because I got live on my page. And it's actually of my baby teaching me how to do the shakes.
Yeah.
Like, she learned how to do the shakes somewhere, and she taught me how to do the shakes. Like, she said she wanted to do it, and guess what we bought? We went and bought the blender and everything to do those shakes that she wanted to do. And she taught me how to do the strawberries, actually make the hard candy on the stuff. And it's a couple other recipes that she's working on that she want me to do. Like, they teach us a lot, and a lot of kids are closed off and closed away to not talk about or not teach. They don't want to learn, or they got a parent that's always, get out of my face. I don't want you around. Like,
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, my children work my nerves sometimes.
And that causes a lot of insecurities in adulthood because, like I said, like I have at 27, I have those problems where a little change in your mood or behavior will automatically make me feel like
you are
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
When you can just be having a bad day. Like, I literally, from own experience, I literally just not last week didn't talk to my man for a whole day because in my mind, I thought he didn't want me and he was doing the most. And in our reality, he was just handling business. Like, he was just living his best life. Like, it had nothing to do with me. But that comes from my childhood and stuff that happened to me in my childhood. And I tell people that all the time. A lot of people do not know that my parents are well off. They are well off. And when I say well off, my dad is literally the head honcho engineer over the streets and stuff, with the street lights and stuff. He's the boss. He's the boss. My stepmom works for an actual corporation. Not inside where you walk into. No. She one of the people you can't get on the phone. You feel me? But you would never know that because I don't talk about that. Because I tell people all the time, you can buy your children everything in the world, but it still does not equate to their mental health.
Yes. Are they time?
Exactly. It does not equate. Yes. My father was a single father. Yes. I was born when he was 19 years old. Yes. I tell people all the time, I was the test dummy for my siblings. I was the test dummy for my siblings. All the things that he did not do with me, he now does for my siblings. Because he see exactly how fucked up our relationship is and how fucked up I am.
Yeah.
And he don't want that same mistake with them. So, parents, you have to remember your children are still people.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. Like, a lot of times we don't look at things that way. A lot of times we don't feel like we're being a burden on our child or our child is suffering. And it's because of something that we was raised to look over. It was something that we were taught to just say, okay, whatever, I'm going to do it. I'm big on family. Well, I'm big on let's do family night. Let's do this. Let's do that together. Let's all get together. I'm big on it because I do have separation withdrawals. For a very, very long time, I stuck in a domestic violence relationship for years just because I didn't want to be alone. Just because I was told that I had to be able to be, accept things the way they are and not to give up and work it out. But in reality, like, nobody told me if doing that to walk away from the situation. And then when I walked away from the situation, it was hard for me to stay away from the situation because of abandonment, of separation, and it's a lot of things like
low self-esteem.
Yes, it's a lot of things that build up to get you to that point. And it's a lot of stuff that we didn't discuss. And when you have nobody to talk to because you feel like everybody you talk to is going to judge you or have something negative to say, or what did you do, girl? Girl, if that was me, I wouldn't let him beat me like that.
And they still be with their toxic ass relationships. Like, they just the innocent people in charge.
It's just hard to deal with. So we gotta break that chain and be able to talk to our kids and explain to them, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, don't stick in it. If you're being molested by a family member or anybody else, don't hold it in. Speak about it. If you're being judged and touched and everything else, you gotta speak on it. Don't hold it in. Okay, what's the comment?
The comment from Veronica, she said, that's so true. Quality time and love is most important to children. Material things they like, but they love your time and memories made. And you know what? That is a point that still at 27 years old, I'm still trying to express to my father. And I'm still trying to express to my family members. Because my family members will tell me quick, that's still your mama. Used to still love her. At the end of the day, to me, that's a woman off the street. Because number one, I am a woman. I am a female. I am a girl. And there's only so much a single father can teach me. There is so much that I can speak to him about as a woman. And it's just like with my son. There's only so much as a woman he would want to express to me. He's going to have problems as he get older that he's going to want to go to my man about, or go to his dad about, or go to his brother about, because as a woman, I'm not going to understand. And I feel like she left me out here to dry. Period. And everybody can tell me, well, that's your mama. At the end of the day, you saying that because that's your sister, that's your friend. You know her struggle. But at the end of the day, you got to relate to my struggle. Because she might have been a good sister to you. She might have been a good friend to you. She might have been this to you. But at the end of the day, she was a badass parent. Because all her kids out here without her. Period. So there's nothing you can tell me about that. And I try to explain that to my dad. At the end of the day, I feel like you chose your other family over me. Even if you go on his page right now, you see his wife, you see his 2 kids, but you don't see me and my son. And it's memories. Yes, you put me in the best schools. Yes, I wore designer. Yes, you gave me the best material, best houses. I lived in 3-story houses. I had big ass rooms the size of my fucking kitchen and living room put together. But at the end of the day, I did not feel like I had a father.
And that's deep. You see what I'm saying? And that's why we gotta start doing things with our kids. And y'all wonder why, you gotta learn how to tell your kids no. If one more person tell me what I gotta learn how to tell my kids, no, I shouldn't have to tell my kids no. Yes, I should be able to spend time with them. Yes, we have movie night. Yes, I go pick up every last one of my nieces and nephews and do movie night. Or we do birthday parties. Or we do memorable things. Yes, a lot of people don't know. I talk to my nieces and nephews on an everyday basis. Every day, all motherfucking day. Kids, I talk to them on an everyday basis. And we talk about everything. Not just the little things. Like, they talk to me about everything. You would think that I'm their best friend. And that goes to what Jazz was saying. Like, y'all can't just allow your kids to feel like they're unloved, because materialistic things don't mean nothing. Y'all can talk about my children every day. Yes, my children don't even like Jordans. I be trying to get them to wear Jordans sometimes. My daughter go in her room right now. I just bought her 2 pair of brand new shoes. How about you want to bet my daughter walk outside in her slides, or walk outside in the Vans or some shoes that's dirty as hell? And I'm like, why did you go do that? But I allow her to be herself. I allow her to express herself and her feelings. And we as grown people, as parents, got to learn how to break those chains of what our parents did to us. Because just like Jazz said, I can relate to everything that she just said. I can relate to it because I've been there. I done that. My grandma did her damnedest to make sure we had what we had. But at the end of the day, time means everything. And when I was growing up, once I moved in with my grandmother, my aunties, every last one of my aunties, they made sure that all of us got together and celebrated together. We did family things. We made sure that we had each other. But guess what? Soon as they started passing away, it was 11 of them. And when they started passing away, all that shit got shot to hell. We don't do family events anymore. We don't have family reunions anymore. We don't do family date night. We don't do family game night. We don't do none of that shit no more since the older generation has passed away. And it's hard because our children grow up feeling like Jazz and feeling like myself, that we unloved and we got separation withdrawal. We got a whole bunch of different mental things going on inside because of what we was taught, or what was put out on the table for us. Mm-hmm. What was the comment? Mimi said, don't cry. Jazzy.
Yeah, I know I'm a crybaby. I'm a counselor, baby.
Yes.
It just come out.
This is a very touchy subject because again, that's the whole point of our show, to talk about real life situations that no one else discusses. That was the whole point of me doing this, because it's a lot of things we don't talk about. We hold it in. We don't allow people to know how we really feel, or what we really have going on. So with that being said, stop normalizing this, because it's not normal. It's not normal. It's just what we was taught was normal. And it's not normal. No, our children should be able to feel love. That makes separation withdrawals. That make us have emotionally unbalanced. Like,
and let's be real, it's why a lot of these little girls around here having sex.
Exactly.
It's
and
why a lot of these little girls around here having sex, or getting up out the house and having sex at an early age, having multiple sexual partners. Because I'm serious. At the end of the day, I left my father's house at 16 years old. And I have not been back since. I haven't even asked. I done all the way lived in my car with my child and still didn't ask, hey, can I please come live with you?
And you know something, with Jazzy speaking on that subject, and that is sad to say, because again, I love my grandma. I love her to death. Everybody know my grandma. Everybody know how she was. Yes, she was a sweet person. Yes, I left her house at 16 because of the relationship that she was in at the time. So I left. And when I left her house, I didn't go back. And I did go through situations where I was homeless. And a lot of people like, well, you had your sisters and you had your family members. Yes, we have them, but to be honest, y'all be black. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real on Talk with Terry. We're going to keep it real tonight. How many of y'all is okay with your family member coming to stay in your house with your man being there? A lot of us don't even allow our family members. And yes, because we do got family members that sleep with each other men. But at the same time, you got to know your family member. You should know who you can trust and who you shouldn't be able to trust. That go back to signs. Signs are always there. Red flags are always there. So, all together, like, we just got to change this mindset that we have.
It just be certain stuff you just don't expect out of certain people.
And then, not even that. It ain't even got to be because you trust your man. You can let them come and make them feel as unwanted as possible to leave.
Yeah.
I done all the way, like, literally, when I first had my son, I done all the way slept in the house with him that I knew everybody in that house wanted me out. I knew this. But because I didn't want my son out on the street and I had nowhere else to go, I accepted it. I accepted them taking my money. Yeah. I accepted them leaving their kids with me and being gone whenever the fuck they feel like it. I accepted all the rhetoric, them calling my baby evil or treating him like he was less of than than their children that's in the household, treating him different because I didn't want him out on the street and I didn't have nowhere else for him to go. I have literally all the way accepted a lot. I had to put my pride to the side, and the little bit I got now, I have worked it hella hard for. Because it don't even have to do with the man. It has to be you really not wanting it, but because you don't want to look like the bad guy, you say, okay,
I'm going to do it.
But then you on the phone, yeah, because this bitch, yeah, she this, and she, no, you knew I ain't had no job before you let me come in here.
Exactly.
You knew I had this child and I was trying to get a babysitter so I can go find a job. You knew that my food stamps got cut off. You knew this before I came in here.
And you invited me in, and then when I get there, make me feel uncomfortable enough to get put out. The really, like, and that's sad. We shouldn't do that. And it's crazy because a lot of people normalize all of this, and it shouldn't be normal. It's not normal. It's not okay. It's not okay, y'all. It's not okay for us to be accepting all this stuff that we accept from men, from relationships, from everything that we be accepting. And it's not okay for us to push whatever our kid is telling us when they been molested and touched on and raped and everything else. It's not okay to push all of it under the rug. Our thing is, talk to these kids. Let them know that it's okay because they have feelings too. They have emotions too. And when they get to a certain age, guess what? All of it is gonna be showed. Everybody gonna see how these kids really feel,
and it ain't gonna be nothing. And you ain't gonna be able to hide it no more.
And it ain't gonna be nothing that you can say. And a lot of times it comes from the man being molested and raped at a young age.
Speak on it.
A lot of times it comes from that man being
babysitter, sleep. You know how many men I know? Let's
Girl.
talk about it. You know how many men I know that say they first time having sex was at 7, 8 years old
with a
fucking babysitter,
and that's some bullshit.
With a teenager,
and that's why I'm strict on who I let watch my kids. That's why y'all be like, well, you don't got no baby. Like, why you don't let him? Again, that go back to what we was talking about.
Yeah, toxic masculinity. Yeah. Laughing at them or telling them they gay. What? How they gay for feeling uncomfortable? They didn't want to do it. They did not want to have sex too.
Right. They're human.
Yeah.
They're human beings too.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the comments. We have Mimi. She said a lot of mine stayed with me. A lot. Yeah, I ain't gonna even lie. Y'all know I'm this the real. Everything we talk about is real. We talk about real motherfucking situations on here. Excuse my language. But we talk about real situations. So with that being said, I am one of those people that have stayed with family members, and half of my damn family members have stayed with me. And guess what? That's what family is supposed to be for. When you struggle, we supposed to uplift each other and help bring knowledge and understanding to each other instead of beating them down and telling them they ain't shit or making them feel like we more than each other. No, we gotta literally be here for each other.
Supporting them going out, but not supporting them go to work.
Yes, y'all. I have an incident where a lot of people will babysit my kids for me to go to the club, but won't babysit my kids for me to go to work. Yes, I work 12-hour shifts. Yes, it is a lot of days of the week, but you'll babysit, and that's why I don't club. And that's why I don't go out no more. I say I'm finna go out, and you can ask half of my folks, I never show up. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, if I feel like you will babysit my child for me to go to the club and won't babysit them for me to go to work, guess what? I'm not bringing them to you. You ain't got to worry about babysitting them at all. So I just don't agree with that. Okay. Alicia said, I feel you, Jazz. Veronica said, I have a lot of family who has stayed with me. I agree with you too, Veronica. Big fat Jazz. A lot of people do that, and it is sad as fuck. Thank God for changing my life. And yes, a lot of people do. Like, a lot of people just normalize a lot of stuff that's going on, and it shouldn't be normalized. We shouldn't push it under the rug. We shouldn't tell them that, hey, it's okay for you to go through this and talk about them and down them. Because at the end of the day, we all still family. So, out the big gate, we just gonna agree with
Mimi said, bitch, you better fucking say it.
But we gonna agree with all of it tonight, because tonight, the main thing is stop saying what happens in my house stays in my house. If the shit need to be put on the table, put it on the table.
For everybody to know.
Everybody to know.
I won't have Uncle Joe around my motherfucking kids, because you knew he was touching on yours.
Exactly. I don't have Uncle Billy or Cousin John, whoever, around my kids because you didn't say nothing. Stop saying that it's okay. It's not okay. And for all y'all perverted men out here, I know y'all gonna see this live. I know somebody gonna tell you. When y'all see it, y'all wrong. And y'all need to be in jail or up under the jail.
And y'all creating some other shit. Because in my family, oh baby, it's kids that was being at home touched by their parents and was coming and doing it to their cousins.
And that's a big...
And I know, because I'm one of them. And every time I spoke about it, ain't nobody believe me. But then when I'm acting out, stealing shit, fighting and all this other shit,
always on defense mode.
Yes, always on defense mode, and then I actually come out and say something, you a liar. This shit ain't happening for real.
Exactly.
What?
Why you ain't been said something? Why do you wait till you 20, 29, and 28 just to speak on it? Because I didn't know how to say it.
Exactly.
I wasn't taught to express myself or explain what happened to me. And the thing about it is, y'all gotta look at these kids 9 times out of 10. If we been touched, we been told at least one person.
Yes. Or we felt like it was okay enough to do it to somebody else.
Exactly.
This is a child. You gotta think like the child, not like your grown ass. You gotta think like the child.
Because
so if it's a child touching somebody else, it's obviously because they was taught or showed that shit is okay.
Yes.
And it don't just come from watching porn because you love your porn. I used to sneak and watch my daddy's shit. And I ain't go out touching motherfuckers. It's because it happened to them personally and it felt like, because they'll come out like it's a game. You want to play this new game? Kids are all for it.
Yes. But it go back to somebody coming to them like that. Hey, let's play. Let daddy play this game with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This was the one that got me. I was about 8 years old. And he literally came to me and said, hey, baby, come and dance with me. Got music playing and everything. Come dance with me. I don't know no better. I'm like, yeah. But I'm knowing deep down inside this shit is uncomfortable as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do.
But you trust them and they older.
Exactly.
So
are they your parent? Mm-hmm. Are they your uncle? Or your cousin? Or somebody that's close to your family? And you be like, okay, let's see. Like, I'm going to really sit here and be like, okay, I can't say nothing because I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get a whooping if I tell him I don't want to dance with him. So I'm going to actually dance with him. So then you go from that to, okay, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. So you make up an excuse because you know this feeling uncomfortable. And then you go get in the shower and go to bed and you get in the bed. And once you get in the bed, he come and get you out the bed with his girlfriend in the bed with him. And that's another thing, too, that I wanted to touch on. Y'all women that's out here and allowing these men to do this to these kids because you love him and you don't want him to leave your ass is wrong. And y'all need to be locked up with him. But for him to actually sit there and watch and bring me and put me in the bed with him and actually do what you do to me, and I'm telling you, no, stop. You still to do it. And then when you finish, say, well, I know you is in the system, so if you tell anybody, then you and your sister them gonna have to go back to DHR. And I love the fuck out my sisters, and I love my grandma. So guess what I did?
Yes, sir.
I didn't say nothing. I held that shit in, and it continued and continued and continued and continued because I held it in, and then there I go again with self-esteem issues. Like, damn, what did I do to make him do this to me? He ain't do it to nobody.
That goes back to that telling your kids not to wear this shit.
Girl, like, and that situation, it bothered me, and it's something that I didn't deal with until I got in my 29, 28 years old. It messed up my self-esteem where I felt like it was something wrong with me, or how did I look, or did my sister and them, you know what I'm saying? And no, I didn't want my sister and them to go back through what we went through. So no, I didn't tell nobody. You telling me that they gonna go back to that situation. The next time you do it, you telling me I'll buy you whatever car you want, and I'll buy you and your sisters a nice big house. Me being young, not knowing that you ain't even got a pot piss to throw in yourself. So how you gonna buy me something? Even if you could buy me something, it was still fucking wrong. And for you to be the person that I love the most, that I cry for, that I long for, because a lot of these kids long for their fathers. Mm-hmm. A lot of kids long for their mother. And for me to long for you and then you come along and you do that, it's painful. It's hurtful. And it's sad that we hold all that shit in. And then when we get a certain age, we not allowed to even speak on it because
now it's too late.
It's too late. And you can't deal with it, or they can't handle it. So stop saying that it's okay. And if a person tell you that, hey, I don't want this person in my house, it's a reason. So listen to these people. A lot of people know they're not going to tell you what's going on in their house. That's why you need to stop that. What goes on in my house stays in my house. But if they come to you and tell you, hey, I really need you not to bring such to my house, that's what y'all need to do. Because sometimes it's a deep reason why they feel like that. So we're going to go to the comments.
Veronica said, trickle effect. We need to kill the generational curses and normal traditional routine.
Okay, yes, girl. We do. We really, really do. And at this day and age, like, we as a generation, us as women, us as young men, we need to come out and stick together and bring knowledge to these situations so they won't be feeling like it's normal. They won't feel like it's okay. We really need to just stop all of it. Break all these chains. So, with that being said, y'all, like, hey, we need to unnormalize it. Okay, so, y'all, that is our time here. If you have a topic that you want to discuss, you can inbox me, Shatera, at 2 Real For You Robson, or your girl Jazzy Jazz here. It's Jazzy Jazz Abram on Facebook. And also you can email us at talkwithtara@gmail.com and leave your topics and we'll discuss it.
Top the rest, ain't no sweat, no competition. Full circle and we winning. Had the test at my best and never finished. Full circle and we winning. Got my weight up, now they hate us, I just say they tripping. Full circle and we winning. 2 different ways, but right back in the beginning. Full circle and we winning.
The same nigga that you saw in the beginning. The same nigga put the squad on the mission. Back in 06 in the MS out of Vineyard. Hey, full circle and we win.